Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us. Let's turn our attention to the matters of national security and especially focus on security in the northeast region of the country. It was a dark Saturday last month. I think it was June the 29th when some suicide bombers attacked Gwoza local government area in Borno State, killing about 18 people and several people too were injured. About a month down the line, leaders in that community are rallying support for the people, those who are directly involved in the attack, in a situation that has become more or less a shocker to a lot of people, because that was an incident that was that happened after months of similar occurrence in that region. Don't forget that Borno State has been hard hit by activities of Boko Haram insurgents that have rampaged the northeastern region, states of Yobe, Adamawa, and Borno State. The senator representing that area is Senator Ali Ndume, a former chief whip of the Senate, and is live with us from our Maiduguri studio. Thank you so much, Senator, for joining us tonight. Our heart goes to the victims and, of course, the families of those who lost their loved ones in that attack and the people of Gwoza. Thank you so much indeed. Let's begin with what we saw yesterday, day before yesterday, in the effort in rallying support for the people of Gwoza. How is Gwoza today?
Well, Alhamdulillah, Shem, welcome back you too, because it has been a while. I just came back from Gwoza yesterday, Sunday, spent 2 nights there. I went there purposely to condole our people after the 29th June incidents where multiple bombs exploded and killed over 32, or exactly 32 people, and injured about 85 people. So we went there to condole the people. But what I'm happy with is the resilience of the people. Because as we are going back, we got into Gwoza after 2 o'clock or around 2 o'clock. And people were busy on their farmlands. The military are there, they are picketing and giving them confidence and support. So Alhamdulillah, life is picking up in our place. And we are hoping that if the rainy season comes down well, our people will get out of this problem. Normally we are subsistent farming people. And we are praying to Almighty to give us a bumper harvest during this rainy season. And so far, so good.
Give us an understanding. It's been a while that we saw this kind of thing in Gwoza. And a lot of people say, God forbid, any kind of situation like this. I mean, as a leader in that area, have you been able to learn anything? What could have been a major cause of this suicide attack? This is a major one, at least that we have experienced in that area in months.
Well, let me say that we have learned our lesson. What has happened is destined to happen, but it was, I think, because of our overconfidence that virtually this incident of especially EID blowing up has come to an end. And the insurgents or the terrorists took advantage of that our people are relaxed. Otherwise, in those days, our people go through screening by the military when they are going to their farms in the morning and when they are coming back. And that one was relaxed because we thought that everything is fine. Suddenly we had this shock. But fortunately, as I said, the military intervened quickly and swiftly. And that also reduced the level of casualty. As you can see, the last suicide bomber was arrested. And when she was about to be arrested, she detonated the bomb and killed one civilian, JTF, and even a soldier lost his life. So our people are more vigilant now. As I told you, I spent 2 nights. The people are so vigilant. There is a curfew for now. That is what they are doing. And also, they have reintroduced some measures of having identity when you go out to your farm. the security do their check-ins in the morning before 8 o'clock. You line up and you get your token, go to your farm. When you are coming back at 5:30 or from 5 o'clock, you surrender the token at the checkpoint. And that is a very good measure. And the military are doing patrol in the night to ensure that no strangers is knocking around. I can tell you that just as like we are in Maiduguri here, if you're outside, you hear about Maiduguri, you think it's a hell. But inside Maiduguri, I'm just coming from my house to your studio, which is about, I think, 4 or 5 kilometers away. Maiduguri, inside Maiduguri, is, I can say, is safer than Abuja. I said it before. And now Gwoza too is very safe, and my concern was with their level of confidence, whether they are demoralized. But they still go back to your farmlands. Fortunately, one of your reporters was with us, Dogara. He saw everything himself and he was amazed. He slept in my house.
Senator, let me ask you quickly. These suicide bombers, when you were speaking with your people in Gwoza, are these some of them, are they, because they probably have seen them for the eyewitnesses who experienced the situation. Are they locals? Are they people that they know? Who are these people?
I'm not
From
hearing
what you are
you
being
that
told,
well. Can you?
Do we know anything about them?
Banajish.
All right. So I'm asking, these suicide bombers, these people who strap themselves with these IEDs, are they people that are identifiable by the community people? Are they locals? Are they members of the community? Or who exactly are they?
Well, let me tell you, as at yesterday, before I came, I had a meeting with the GOs and the brigade commander. They are still doing their investigation. But one thing we are sure, and I interacted with the women and the remains of the suicide bombers. Their faces doesn't look at all like people from Gwoza. And be rest assured, somebody would have identified them. So these are people that were brought in because the women plaited their hair and their hands, they have this nalle, or they call it, because they were convinced or indoctrinated to believe that once they detonate the bomb, they are going to heaven straight. The first one was with her daughter. She was holding the hand of her daughter, and people thought they were beggars. So as she detonated the bomb, it was then instantly 8 people lost their life. And just nearby, when they were preparing the dead ones for funeral, the second bomber detonated the second bomb. And when the people were evacuated to hospital, again for treatment, the third bomber detonated at the hospital. Fortunately, there was no casualty, but people sustained injuries. And the fourth one was the one that was to be arrested, and she detonated the bomb again, killing 1 soldier and a civilian JTF. As a result of the swift reaction of the security agencies, asking everybody to go into his house. So, you know, they will now, if the other one, the last one, didn't have, she was just coming, a stranger, so she had no house to go, and therefore the security agency confronted her, and that was how she detonated the bomb. So I can tell you that these people are from outside, not really from within Gwoza. But we are suspecting highly...
Senator, yeah.
We are suspecting highly that maybe they have connivance, or people that are informants or whatever, because you can't get somebody coming out directly from the bush or from the Mandara Mountain, because we are suspecting that maybe they are from the Mandara Mountain, where it's one of the black spots, or from Sambisa all the way, which is not far away from Gwoza. We still have some security challenges, but the military are up to it.
An unnerving question for you, because I'm looking at how we can put a permanent stop to some of these craziness in people just waking up and saying, my goal today is to go and kill another human being and put an end to people's businesses and put an end and bring misery to a particular group of people. those who are attributed that some of what we are seeing in the insurgency in the Northeast could be related to the failure of the political elite, which had grown into some kind of poverty and grown into anger and this kind of mental and psychological reorientation that is leading some of these people to it. Has the people, or the people of this area, you being a member of the political elite, is there any lesson that has been learned in ensuring that this kind of scenario does not play out again ever in our country?
Well, let me tell you, Sean, this is not an issue of blame. It's not a blame game. The only mistake that we as politicians would take responsibility for is when this thing started. And I think I was a victim. When I was raising the concern about this Boko Haram earlier in the previous government, even during Jonathan, Iletier Adua, and people were politicizing it. It is not an issue that you can only blame the politicians. We also in our place are blaming ourselves, because by the time this thing was going on, people were not coming out to expose these people, provide information that would have led to nipping it in the bud until it started getting out of hand. And now that it's out of hand, and we even have external forces joining them, that is the ISWAP from the ISIS, and we have the Boko Haram, and we have criminals among them. So one cannot say that this thing will be brought down to zero level. But as it is now in Gwoza, Gwoza is coming back. As I said, when journalists visited me today, so far during the government of Professor Babagana Zulum, in my local government, 10 villages, including Gwoza itself, were resettled. And we are still going on, because next now there are villages like Asgashia, Wala, and Kuranabasa to be settled. So as you can see, there is a tremendous progress being achieved by the state government, especially under the leadership of Professor Babagana Zulum. If all this effort is sustained and he has more support that he requires, because everything will require resources.
Senator?
Yes.
Yeah, let me ask you. I was speaking with Chief Dele Momodu earlier, who wrote in his letter.
I can't hear you very well.
Listened to by the president. And as much as I don't want to go back into the scenario which left you being removed as a chief whip, but some of the anger which you have as a leader in the APC about the handling of this government in some of the matter of state. And I'd like to know, because you headed the committee in the Senate of the Army, the solution and the solutions are the issues here. Part of your disappointment is that the right things are not being done. Give me an understanding of what you think will be the right thing to be done in fixing this problem. Is the Tinubu government doing the right thing in solving some of our security problems?
Sorry, Shehu, that last conversation, because you know I'm in Maiduguri and we have issues with communication. So can you take that again so that I can hear
let me quickly wrap it up quickly. Yeah. So I'm making reference to, I said, as much as I do not want to go into the issues that led to you being removed as the chief whip, because Dele Momodu has said the president should listen to you. But sadly so, your anger about the manner in which the state of the nation is, it brings me to the issue of solution and solution and solution. The question is, as a former chair of the Committee on the Army, is this government doing the right thing in resolving or fixing the security problems or challenges of this country? Do you think so?
Well, I can't say I can exactly answer this question straight out. But I can tell you that one of the major issues that I had and that led to, you know, my removal as the chief whip is my complaint that the president is not very accessible. If he's accessible, we would have told him this in a closed door, not on TV. But I can tell you that I made effort for myself. I made several efforts through severally. I wrote severally so that we can discuss some of these things. But I didn't have the chance. But I have no grudge now that we don't have any communication. But definitely we are moving forward in terms of the security in one area. In other areas like Zamfara, or what is happening in Zamfara, Sokoto, Katsina, Kaduna, I can't speak that much about it, but we know that the security challenges are still there, even recently. What I'm saying is this security matter is a collective matter. Everybody should come out and talk about it. Everybody should do something, say something, so that we can bring it to an end. The earlier we keep on deceiving ourselves that it's all over or it's under control, then we will not get the control. But so far, I can't say the government is not doing anything. They are investing into it. The army are bringing in. Like in my place, as I said, I can talk about Gwoza. I went to Gwoza and sleep. I did not sleep with the soldiers in my house. I did not sleep with soldiers roaming around. So that means there's improvement in Gwoza. But as for other areas, this is not something that I can say. You have representatives from other areas that know what is going on. But in conclusion, I want to say, the main purpose of government is security and welfare of its citizens. So the government should concentrate more on that before any other thing. Any other thing is secondary.
It's over a year now since the Tinubu government got into office. And there are those who will point fingers at you. You are one of those who came vote. We are very vocal about asking Nigerians to vote for your party. You believe in the capacity of your party to lead Nigeria. Over 1 year down the line, there are those who perhaps hold you by your babariga to say, Senator, some of the things that your party promised, Nigeria is not getting it. And those who will say, Senator Ndume, your party has failed in these and in these and in these areas. How do you defend your party in the face of this hardship that Nigerians are facing?
Well, as you said, putting it all, the APC is 9 years old, isn't it? And PDP, which was the former ruling party, spent how many years? I think 16 years, is it? 4 terms. And most of the damage started from them. As I told you, I'm not good at blame game. No, our APC, I was one time in PDP. It's not a matter of party now. It's a matter of Nigeria. It's not a matter of party. It's a matter of security and welfare of Nigerians. It's not a matter of party. It's a matter of hunger and insecurity that is facing us. So if we start the blame game, we will not get a solution. It's just Tinubu, as you said.
Well, it's only 1 year old. Wait. It's a reality.
He's only 1 year old.
It's a reality of what is on the ground. Whether your party, you are one of the promoters of the party, you promised Nigerians that your party, under the Bola Tinubu government, will fix Nigerians. And those who are asking, Senator Ndume, did you lie to us?
No,
the promise that your party made to us is not being fulfilled. And that's the question I'm asking tonight.
No, I didn't.
Nigerians,
I didn't lie.
On this very program, you made the promise.
No, I'm sure if you will be fair to APC, we are just 1 year old. We are just 1 year old. Tinubu's government is just 1 year old. So if we give him a chance, and I'm sure he's listening to most of these complaints out there, and he is a reactive person. You can see, after we shouted on this issue of hunger, he released 20 trucks of grains to each state. He agreed to raise the minimum wage to 70,000. All these are progress. But because of the severity of the problem we're in, and because of people like you, you still say that nothing has been done. If somebody can achieve even these few things in 1 year, everybody was shouting that the fuel subsidy should go. And that was what triggered this problem. So it's not a single decision. Most Nigerians were asking for it. And I think the best thing is to encourage Mr. President to listen more, to open his doors more, and then to do what he needs to do more, because there is all indication that he is willing, or he should take responsibility for whatever we find ourselves. Unfortunately, globally, there is issue of hunger, there is issue of poverty, and it's global. But then that is not an excuse. We have taken government, and I'm sure
Are you able to persuade your people, Senator, are you able to persuade your people in your area about the planned nationwide protest? Some of them have called it hunger protest.
Well,
what would you tell them? Those who will say, we do not have food to eat. We do not have money. Our purchasing power has been terribly, terribly diminished. What do you tell them? Would you tell them not to protest, or how do you handle it? You are a political leader. What do you tell them in the face of the hunger in the land?
I told you the situation my people are. We are 21 days or 22 since this incident happened on the 29th. We are struggling to go back to farm. We are struggling to survive. And we can see that the state government and other agencies are coming here out to help us. We are dealing with that situation. Do we have time to go and protest again? To protest to who? So I doubt so much a protest will happen in Maiduguri. But that is not to say that people should not show their grievances. My fear is, in most cases, looking at what happened during the NSAS. I hope it doesn't get out of hand. And more especially when we cannot identify the leadership. That makes it more difficult. Because there is a need before strike, even Labour that went on strike severally. They normally issue out warning. Now we only see the warning to go on strike. We don't know who are the faces. But as I said, that is not it. In my place, we are picking our pieces.
Senator, Senator, we are totally out of time, but in 30 seconds, if you may, the NLC leader had asked the president to listen to Nigerians in the light of the planned nationwide protest. Do you agree with him? If the president is to listen, in what way can he show Nigerians that he's listening?
Take that question again. I don't hear you.
The NLC, the Nigerian Labour Congress, had come out counseling and advising the government of the day to listen to Nigerians in the light of the planned nationwide protest. If the president is to show to Nigerians that he actually is listening, how would he show it? Just in 30 seconds. We need to close.
Just close. I saw second. I second his motion.
You have been removed as the chief whip of the Senate. You do not have the opportunity to move that kind of motion.
No, I didn't move the motion.
So the question is,
the NLC, wait.
It's not a motion. I'm asking you a question.
No, the NLC moved the motion.
To show that he's listening to Nigerians.
No.
Yes.
The NLC chairman raised that motion. Tell him I second his motion. That the president should listen to Nigerians. To the Nigerian
people.
Eh?
How would he show it?
I second the motion.
How should the president show that he listens?
Let the president listen.
How would the president show that he listens?
No, I think the president should talk. I think the president should talk to Nigerians or talk to the youths.
Senator Ali Ndume, thank you very much for talking to us tonight.
By the way,
some people would refer to you as controversial.
By the way, I thought you were sacked. By the way, it went viral that you are sacked. What happened?
Fake news. Fake news.
Oh, okay.
Thank you so much, Senator. I appreciate your time tonight.
All right. Bye-bye.